What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. The market had a very exciting day today. We had certain stocks like Plug up almost 13% on the day. We also saw some pretty good movement out of some of the China stocks like Alibaba popping up just under 3%, and even some of the stocks that have been beaten down a lot lately like Zoom and Fastly had some pretty awesome days. So we have some great plays for tomorrow. Make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video and let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below so then we can cover them in tomorrow's video. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. But Tom, what's going on in the market?
Yeah, as we can see, the S&P 500 was all over the place once again, but one stock really led the way today, which was Plug Power, up 12.7%. And they're actually, I should say Benzinga Newswire reported on Thinkorswim that Plug Power is actually investing in Airflow, which is an aerospace company that builds next-gen electric short takeoff and landing aircraft. But the better news of the deal is that these companies are co-developing and certifying a hydrogen fuel-based propulsion system designed for new generation of sub-regional aircraft. The parties did note that the partnership indicates the next phase of the pursuit of carbon neutral aviation. And that's pretty big news. You know, they're trying to really clean up the carbon footprint out of these different aircraft and different type of aviation sectors. So that's really cool to see. I'm sure that it'll be changing the aviation sector in the longer run, but for right now, it really helped Plug Power up 12.79%. And these stocks are really innovative, like Plug, you could say Blink Charging, CHPT, RUN, the Enphase even. These types of stocks are innovators. And this type of news really shows that they're trying to really innovate and kind of step up that clean energy production.
You know it. So basically anything with clean energy did pretty well over like the past week or so, and I feel like it has a lot more growth potential over the next couple of years. And Plug has had a lot of good news lately. They even got upgraded by Morgan Stanley, so definitely keep them on your radar. Of course, like RUN and like Tom said, BLNK are looking pretty good. Two other clean energy plays. But Tom, I want to talk a little bit more about these China stocks. So like looking at like Alibaba, it's uptrending very well. I know it's been consolidating for like the past day or two, but you know, it is on a pretty strong uptrend as of like the past 2 weeks. And I know that like a lot of people are really starting to buy the dip.
Yeah, they are. And like we saw, Charlie Munger was buying some shares of Baba, and we've been seeing a lot of other people just coming in and buying up lots of shares of these different companies like JD, Baidu, Baba, you name them. But all these Chinese companies are really popping off, especially today, which I think is awesome because they had two kind of consolidation or red days there. And, you know, that is kind of expected. They had such great weeks over the past couple weeks, we could say. You know, we saw Baidu pop up from lows of like 145 all the way up to 166. We saw Baba move from these lows of like 140 all the way up to pretty much $170 within like 3 or 4 trading days. So, you know, I'm not too surprised to see a little bit of consolidation, but with the way they came back today, I think it really shows that the move might not be over yet with these China plays. And, you know, if we can get up there and maybe retest 172 with Baba tomorrow, that would make for a pretty big run.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them popping up a little bit more over like the next couple weeks or so. Now, keep in mind, they are still relatively risky given the unique situation with these China stocks. But with all being said, I feel like it does have a good risk-reward ratio, especially for the short term.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, China, like these stocks should get better. China's still a pretty big powerhouse, and it's not like that they're just going to go anywhere anytime soon. And, you know, you would think that they would try to get the relations a little bit better over the next few months. So hopefully we see these stocks start to pop off. I'm seeing JD actually right at this $80 resistance. So maybe we'll get a pretty big move soon.
All right, so Tom, tell us more about like the earnings that we had today and like some notable earnings for the rest of the week.
Yeah, we had some pretty big earnings today. Actually, we had JP Morgan report and then Delta Airlines, and those are pretty big companies. Let's go check them out really quick. We have JP Morgan actually down 2.6% on their earnings today, and they actually had great earnings. They beat on their EPS. They reported a 3.74 EPS versus a 2.996 estimate. So they did pretty good there. Their revenue was awesome, and they even exceeded profit expectations on a $1.5 billion boost from better than expected loan losses, according to CNBC. But in the end, they ended up down today. And like I just showed here on the chart, we have lots of earnings tomorrow with banks. We have Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank, Morgan Stanley. Then on Friday, we have Goldman Sachs and PNC. So, with the way JP Morgan fell today and they had good earnings, it would make me think that maybe some of these other bank stocks like Bank of America and Goldman might not have the best earnings coming up.
So the thing is like, it's really weird that JP Morgan had, pretty solid earnings and they fell. And, sometimes that's just what happens in the market. Like, sometimes weird things happen, but either way, their earnings were good. It just didn't like wow anyone, it wasn't like amazing, groundbreaking news, and the stock has been relatively high lately. So it's just like one of those interesting events. And definitely keep your eye on the other bank stocks for tomorrow. Normally they all move together. And then another thing to pay attention to is Zoom, Tom. So ZM actually had a pretty good day, popping up over 4%. And they've been struggling a lot lately, but it is nice to like finally see like a nice pop out of Zoom, and then even Fastly.
Yeah, and Zoom is actually moving right off that 250 support, which is a pretty good longer term and psychological level. So that's a pretty good pop there. And I'll be honest, there's a pretty big gap to fill here on Zoom's daily chart. I know the last time they reported earnings, they had that big move to the downside. So hopefully we can kind of get back up here and maybe fill that gap over the next couple of months as these recovery plays start to get better. And like you said, FSLY also had a fantastic day. And this stock has had just almost like 7 green days in a row. It's been really on an uptrend.
Alrighty. And then I know that there was some news from the Feds today. What's going on there?
Yeah, the FOMC meetings minutes came out today. And keep in mind that this is not an FOMC meeting. I know lots of people are always confused about this, but this is just pretty much a detailed summary of the last FOMC meeting. And this pretty much came out today and said that they could expect to see tapering as soon as mid-November. And they pretty much said that they could see a tapering process where they start to taper $10 billion in treasuries and $5 billion in mortgage-backed securities. So that seems like a pretty big reduction if they start doing that. And I don't know how the market's going to digest that, but you would think maybe the market would start to go down on that news because, over the past year, a lot of people have been saying the Fed's been pumping the market up. So really interesting to hear that these asset purchases, or those reductions, I should say, are going to be coming in mid-November. That's just really interesting. And I hope that it doesn't affect the market too much.
Yeah, and you would think that when the Feds taper, you would think that rates rise, and if rates rise, TLT would fall. So if you're kind of looking to play like inflation or rates rising, playing TLT puts or shorting this can be a play, but it just depends on your risk tolerance. And, there's definitely a lot that goes into this play. So just keep that in mind. But then, Tom, let's get right into today's member of the day. Today's member of the day is Trading Lifestyle. So huge shout out, Trading Lifestyle. Thank you so much for all of your positivity and activity in the Stocked Up Discord and on YouTube. Tom and I really appreciate it. So huge shout out to you, and thank you so much for all of the support. And now, Tom, let's get right into these momentum plays for tomorrow. And with the first one, we have Baidu to the upside.
Yep. And with Baidu, go ahead and make them break out above 165. I think that's a pretty big resistance there.
Sounds good. And then with the next one, we have Zoom.
Yep, Zoom. And these guys are bouncing off support pretty well. Make them break out above 268.28.
And then the last one, we have Spot.
Spotify. These guys really ran up at the end of the day, Mike. And we all know that bot play did awesome with this one, but go ahead and make them break out above 244.26.
You know it. So we are watching these 3 plays for potential day trades to the upside only if they break above the levels Tom listed, and they are potential day trades for tomorrow. And then like Tom said with the bot play, the hybrid bot had an awesome call out on it today. It called out the Spotify 240 strike calls at $330 each, and it ran all the way up to $550 each. So awesome play by the bot. It's been on fire lately. I think, 14 of the last 16 plays popped for at least 10%. And like we could see today's play popped for a lot more than that. It was over like 60%. So we do have a coupon running. If you want to try out the bot, you can cancel at any time. We have a coupon where you can save like over $40. It'll be that first link in the comments down below. And it'll also be that first link in the description down below. This includes daily options, day trades, swing trades, custom order flow bots, basically 24/7 access to Tom and myself, and a great community. Overall, the bot's been on fire, so really consider trying it out, even if it's only for 1 month. It's been doing great, and now's the time to try it out. You know, we do have that coupon running. Again, it'll be that first link in the description and the comments down below. And now let's get right into the comments from the previous video. We have Miller Time mentioning BB. So Tom, I know BB had some pretty good news today. They're up like 5%. What's going on with this one?
Yeah, they came out today and actually had a pretty big partnership. They came out and said they were partnering with Google, which can be an awesome thing for BlackBerry. And they had a pretty nice move to the upside. But, you know, one thing I was a little bit disappointed about is I was expecting them to get a little bit more attention on Wall Street bets. And, you know, they did get a little bit of attention, but I was expecting to see a lot more today. Hopefully Wall Street bets can kind of take hold of BlackBerry, and maybe we can push that volume up over the next few days, and maybe BlackBerry can get a pretty nice run.
Yeah, I mean, it just, to me, it's still more of like a hype play. In order for me to play this one, I would just I would need to see like the hype back with it. You know, like this one popped off earlier in the year, and then like in May when all the other hype plays were moving. But like you said, Tom, like no one's really talking about this one too much as of right now. And to me, this stock mainly moves off of hype. So hopefully, if that news like spreads more, it could be a good play. But as of right now, I don't see any like good potential with it. But then with the next one, we have Chef Curry mentioning XL calls. So looking at XL, this stock, in my opinion, looks pretty bad, and I wouldn't play it.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. And I don't know if this is it reminds me of like a shipping stock or something like that, but definitely not a stock for me. It is around the long-term support around $5 though. So it might be a decent pickup, but just based on the movement and everything, to me, it's just not a good play. You know, I just think that there's so many better plays out there, like DraftKings, Corsair, and different stocks like that are at awesome levels right now. Like DraftKings is just hovering right around this 48 support. It's at a really prime level. Just compared to that stock, there's just so many other, I think, safer opportunities.
Believe it or not, Tom, XL is actually an EV stock, so electric vehicles. So honestly, it's just not for me. I feel like there's other opportunities out there, like of course Tesla, NIO, and like even Lucid.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that's a pretty big revelation that they're an EV stock. I've actually never heard of them before, but I'll definitely kind of dig into them a little bit. But the movement just hasn't been too good right now, and it almost reminds me of like a workhorse or something kind of like that.
There we go. And then we have Andrew mentioning PBW. So PBW is like a, I guess you'd say a clean energy ETF. And I actually like this setup. What do you think about it?
I think it looks pretty good as well. We've had 3 solid green days come in here. We're sitting right around the $80 resistance today, but man, the momentum is definitely here. And as we can see, this is an exchange traded fund. So hopefully they can kind of get up there. I don't know what holdings that they have exactly, but hey, it looks pretty good. It's also right around that. Well, I recently bounced off that $70 support, and it looks like it's back on the uptrend here.
There we go. And then we have Clinton mentioning OCGN. So OCGN has been popping off lately. It's not really a play for me. It's just too risky. I like other stocks more in the market right now, like, you know, DraftKings, Zoom, Corsair, stuff like that. But OCGN is trending up pretty well, and it looks like they're getting really close to that 950 resistance.
Yeah, they are. And I feel like they might actually break that over the next few days, Mike. They had a lot of momentum today, especially towards the end of the day. We just had a lot of buyers come in here right around market close, pushed it right up here, back up towards those highs of 950. So hopefully we can see that breakout. That would actually be amazing with OCGN. And looking at them over the past year, you know, they have been consolidating down here quite a bit. And I would not be surprised to see them up, you know, especially with the volume and the hype coming in. Now, be careful with the options, though. I will say I just noticed the implied volatility is at 198%. So I would almost rather just play shares on this one.
Alrighty, so thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below. But Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything you are watching for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping my eyes on a couple stocks. NIO is actually one of my favorite ones right now. They're in kind of a strange setup. They've been consolidating down here for a long time, but if we see the Chinese stocks have another pop off tomorrow, I would not be surprised if NIO maybe came up and broke this 37 resistance, and then we might get a pretty decent run. So definitely keep your eyes on NIO. I'm also keeping my eyes on AMD. They had an awesome move to the upside today, while a lot of chip stocks have honestly been going down lately. So, kudos to AMD for going up, and hopefully we can break that 110 resistance and maybe go up to 112 or something tomorrow for a nice momentum play.
There we go. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you want to try out the bot, it's going to be that first link in the description and the comments down below. We do have a coupon running, and the bot has been on fire, so definitely consider giving it a shot. In the worst case scenario, you can cancel at any time, but the bot really has been on fire, and it's definitely worth trying out, even if it's only for 1 month. Other than that, thanks for watching.